Well, at some point, you have to get out and experience the storm. It took a long time, but finally in Hurricane Gilbert, I got out and took a hurricane walk. You know, people who are in hurricanes doing what I do, they're weather nuts. And I think some little seed just comes in from outer space and it gets in your DNA and you become one of these things. It's always there and you just can't explain it.
Discussing the 80 up here.
Hurricane Hugo had become one of the most intense hurricanes ever recorded in this hemisphere. And after a few hours of driving around, we realized, you know, why are the winds not increasing? You know, why is the cloud cover not thickening? What is going on here?
It did appear for a fact that Hurricane Hugo was going to strike Puerto Rico, and now it was a matter of the northern coast or the southern coast. And we came to a conclusion that we were going to divide up and go two different ways. Richard and Terry continued to the south side of the island.
Terry and I saw that the storm took a little zigzag to the left, and it looked like it was going to go along the south coast of the island. And during the night, we realized it was likely to hit the northeast portion, and we took off and headed to San Juan.
We were exposed to a lot of danger because we were in a built-up urban area. There were a lot of sources of possible debris that could come flying down.
Trees were falling across the road.
Oh, look at that.
The winds were starting to gust to hurricane force.
Yeah, it's flipping. Look at that.
The brinkmanship game we're playing was coming to the brink.
It's flying all over. It's way up in the air. Look at that. It's just whipping. We decided we needed to get into a position that was a little bit safer. And so we went back down the street behind one of the large hotels. Then when we finally did get inside the hotel, the wall of this lobby on the side facing the ocean was lined with huge plate glass windows. And as we talked there in the lobby, one of these exploded in.
Giant slivers or shards were flying through the lobby, being impaled in the walls behind us. I ran behind a pillar. Terry dove behind a pillar. It was like running through a hail of bullets.
If a hurricane chaser has 9 lives, I think I went through 4 of those lives in Hugo, right there in San Juan.
Terry and Richard, they went on their own way. We didn't know where they went, so we drove back into San Juan and back to the northeast coast near Latillo. We found an 18-20-story condominium, observed the storm from there.
The manager of the building invited us up to his unit in the building to see what was going on, and he had a 4th floor unit that overlooked the town. And we could see everything that was happening.
Look, window frame stuck in the palm tree.
God, Andy, quick. We got into these powerhouse gusts where the winds were just screaming through it well over 140, 150 miles an hour. And it became apparent that where we were was not going to be completely safe, that the windows were probably going to blow out.
We were on the 4th floor looking to get to the parking garage where we could see what was going on and be in the safest position. At this point is when we encountered the hallway from hell. Water was cascading down the stairways. The winds gusting in the stairway 30, maybe 40 miles per hour at times, and the horrific howl of the wind was truly deafening. The lights, which were emergency generator lights, suddenly went on. And as we proceeded, the lights were blinking on and off, and on and off, due to a short in the wires, the best we can surmise. We didn't know where we were in a hallway leading to gosh knows where. Gallons and gallons, or perhaps hundreds of gallons of water cascading down the stairways around us. Finally, we get down to the parking garage.
The manager was leading the group, and as the manager stepped out onto this opening, into this, the top of the parking garage, there's a large volume of wind, probably on the order of 120, 130 miles an hour. And Andy, luckily, was right behind him and pulled him back. If some piece of debris had been flying by at that point in time, he could have been seriously injured, if not killed. It's at that point where we're saying, you know, this is unbelievable. We've never experienced anything like this. We walk out to a stairwell, and the water is flowing up the stairwell.
Look at the water coming up the steps.
The wind is literally pushing the water back up the stairs, and there's this huge plume of water coming out. It's just a completely surreal experience.
The winds lasted and roared for hours on end, gusting in excess of 160 miles per hour. We were witnessing nature's strongest winds.
I thought this was my ultimate storm. And for the normal person that cherishes his life, they'd be scared to death during this situation.
I would never, ever suggest to anybody who just has a casual interest in it to jump in a car and go chase a hurricane.
You need to know about the way hurricanes behave. That's the only way to really be safe. This is one of those, don't try this at home.
All of the storm chasers we interviewed agree with Mike Locker and Terry Nixon. If you're interested in chasing storms, you should read publications on the subject and talk to people with first-hand experience before trying it on your own. They also recommend chasing with a partner